Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the third Videojet webinar. My name is Thierry Protas. I am the Global Pharma Director for Videojet. This webinar will be managed in collaboration with Optel Vison, and we are going to speak about serialization project and data management between the different levels of IT architecture, and mainly about data on and data out from the printer point of view. We have a last-minute change for Optel speaker. Luc will be replaced by Mario Simard, the Senior Product Line Manager, and I will let him introduce himself.
Thank you, Thierry. So thank you for being there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mario Simard again. I'm the Senior Product Line Manager for Optel Vison, so responsible to develop and understand the market requirement in terms of track and trace solutions. So Thierry, thank you very much. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Thanks, Mario. From my side, I spent a lot of time on pharma industry, as you can see on the short resume there, collecting different experiences from automation, OEM, laser coding, brand protection, serialization, and finally to come back to coders. To give you an overview of Videojet, Videojet is a part of Danaher Group, composed by 25 different companies and approx 60,000 associates worldwide, divided on 4 platforms, recently refocused on life sciences, diagnostics, dental, and environmental and solution. Danaher Group is quoted at the New York Stock Exchange. Videojet is the leading company in product identification platform, also called PID, by developing a turnover of over $1 billion and by 4,000 associates. We have defined 4 vertical markets. Pharmaceutical industry is one of those. Part of my role consists of developing a complete range of product and service for pharmaceutical industry. This range is called Pharma line, and you can discover it on our website. Videojet is present globally by 30 direct subsidiaries, most of the time in gray on the map, or via than 100 distributors, blue triangle in this case. We are a global company able to bring sales and technical support anywhere in the world. And moreover, pharmaceutical industry, our team has absolutely no border and acts globally to coordinate projects between end user and OEMs. We have pharma specialists, 1 per region, so EMEA, North America, and Asia, and then per each region, a complete team of pharma champions, focused only on pharma market in all those countries, and of course, dedicated pharma technical support. So I will let now Mario introduce Optel Vison.
Thank you, Thierry. Optel Vison was created in 1989. Mainly at that point we were doing some inspection, so we have more than 28 years in terms of experience within this industry. We were at the early stage at the serialization, and we were highly involved within the serialization at that point, or if you prefer, track and trace solution, so more than 10 years of expertise within this area. We have installed so far more than 1,000 lines, serialized lines around the world in 45 global accounts, or corporate accounts if you prefer. So we are the worldwide leader in terms of track and trace or traceability systems. One thing that I'm going to talk later on is the Open-SCS, so Open Serialization Communication Standard. We are an active member of this committee and also a founder. So Optel Vison, as a company, we have 4 different sites around the world. One in Campinas in Brazil, one in Goa in India, and also one in Europe in Limerick in Ireland, where we serve all the European countries. And our headquarters is in Quebec, Canada. So we have more than 700 employees around the world.
So thank you, Mario. To present the topic of today's, as I said in the introduction, we have already managed 2 webinars last year. Still available on our YouTube channel. The first one was focused on serialization and data management last October, and the second one was about the relationship between data in and data on. So today we are going to speak about data on and data out. So data on is the receive information from the printer point of view, and data out is all the report we can send back to the IT architecture. So I will let Mario continue with data out, but I will start with data on. So serialization is all about data management. Serialization and moreover aggregation projects are based on data management. Data flow is key and must be fluid. So Mario will present you this part later on. By the way, all those data exchanges are based on a data carrier defined by GS1, which must be properly printed and readable. One more time, data flow and communication between levels are key parts for a serialization or aggregation project. Whatever level you are going to use to generate your unique code. Level 5, for example, cloud-based solutions, thanks to an external provider, or at the corporate level, level 4, group or corporate level, or even at the plant level or level 3. Data management is always the main issue here. Unique codes could be pushed or pulled. One more time, Mario will explain the difference later on, to the machine level, and then to the printer and the camera. So if printing quality is not properly managed, all this chain fails. And if we are speaking about track and trace, not only serialization, the code quality must be good enough to allow your business partners to identify the product. So if not, fighting against counterfeiting will never be efficient. The main worldwide regulation except China have defined the 2D code, data matrix ECC200, as the standard data carrier to communicate between suppliers and business partners. For those who would have more explanation on ECC200, they could refer to the second webinar we have managed last year. As I said, still available on YouTube channel. As you can see, there are different possibilities to apply this code on products, depending on available room you'll have. Also, depending on the local regulation, I mean aggregation or not, this code or EIN 128 could be applied, so a linear barcode could be applied on bundles, case, and even pallets. So one more time, printing process and printing quality is present all along the packaging line, and maintaining printing quality across the different printers is the very, very first step on the project and the real challenge. So I guess this is well known by everybody now, but just as a reminder, so GS1 has defined the ECC200 data matrix code with AI, so application identifier, so 01 for the GTIN or global trade international number, 10 for batch or lot number, 17 for expiry date, and 21 for serial number. The challenges. The usual way to communicate data from the serialization software to the printer is usually to create a template composed by two distinctive parts. The first one is composed by static data only, coming from master data, so from your ERP, and these data are fixed for the whole batch. We are usually speaking about the GTIN, the batch number, and the expiry date. The second part is composed by dynamic data, so the serial number, of course, because unique per pack, and the 2D code itself. And this code should include all static and dynamic data. By doing so, we will save some microseconds for each communication and make it safer. An important point here is the ability of your printer, its software in particular, to accept dynamic data. It's the very first thing to look at. By managing CIP 13, code, so the French regulation in the past, only composed by static data, and a static 2D code for the whole batch doesn't mean that you are automatically able to manage serialization. So I would like to draw your attention on this. So please make sure your current printers are serialization ready, if we can say that, or at least able to manage dynamic data. If you have any doubt, please contact your local Videojet sales engineer. Coding quality or printing quality. So coming back to the basic, for printing process, there are 3 important criteria to respect to manage a serialization project. The first one is, as we said, printer software ready for serialization or not. The second one is communication protocol available and comprehensive for the serialization solution provider. So from the Videojet point of view, we will provide this protocol and, of course, the technical support to develop it. And the third one, in terms of timing, but not in terms of importance, because it's the very first one in terms of importance, it's printing quality. I'd like to insist again about this. And the complete data flow management is totally linked to the readability of this data carrier. So this is vital for serialization project. A grade C is considered as minimum, but acceptable. And by the way, thanks to an additional Optel tool called grading tool, you'll be able to measure online, on the fly, not the grade, because the grade is always measured offline on a static process, but a trend of grade and printing quality. In other words, you'll be able to see printing quality decrease and react before a failure. It could be an alert from your operators, to clean the printing head or change the cartridge if you use a thermal inkjet printer, for example. One more time around quality and printing quality process. We have developed this service called Call to Carton. So it has been developed and deployed specifically for pharmaceutical industry to bring to the market an independent analysis and report. We are not only speaking about the regular sample process we have to go through for each printing project. Code to Carton is a formal process we are going through by printing on each carton quality from each of your carton provider with all printing technology you'd like to investigate to print a serialized code. So we are just going to multiply the different options. If you've got 2 carton providers, 2 different qualities, and you want to investigate 2 laser and TIG technology, for example, we are going to deploy 8 different tests and reports, of course. So this will be managed by independent lab. Okay, we will manage UV, temperature, and humidity tests, and we'll also simulate aging tests to measure code readability for 5 years after it has been printed. A report will be provided to present complete evaluation of the adequation between the printing process and each carton quality, and of course conclusions. This is a very proactive study to avoid as much as possible readability and printing quality issue during the serialization project management. And this is an insurance to your quality department. So this report could compose the very first step of your serialization project, and this document could be as well shown during an audit. I would encourage you to contact one more time your local Videojet Pharma sales engineer to evaluate this service before starting any serialization project. Other consideration to look at in terms of high-speed production lines, for example, you can consider laser technology. For example, our new 30-watt laser, CO2 laser, is composed by very high-speed mirrors or galvos. So we can solve extreme application with a very high printing quality. The 3340 Pharma line is PD as a traditional 60 watt. But it's smaller, easier to install or integrate on an existing equipment or machine, and of course, cheaper. So it makes total cost of ownership really interesting, especially if you run 2 or 3 shifts a day for at least 5 days a week. Finally, to aggregate, labels have to be applied on case or pallet or both. Speed is usually not an issue at this level, but printing quality is still a must. Okay. Printing quality is still a must all along the packaging line. So our 9550 label print and apply system will bring you a consistent quality and a huge flexibility. That's it for my part. I will let now Mario to continue the presentation.
Thank you very much, Thierry. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have covered the printing part thanks to Videojet. What I'm going to talk about now is really the ecosystem itself. What are the different parts of this ecosystem? So, of course, we have data in, data on, and data out that I will talk about. But let's have a look at this complete ecosystem. So first of all, you will have the plant site, so the manufacturing plant. So we'll have at that point the plant, the line, of course, and the devices that are on the line to make the production. Then we have the corporate site, okay, that will be involved at that point, and also the government site that will also be involved within the different parts. So at the device side, what we have there, it's, of course, we'll have the camera that will inspect all the information that will be printed. We'll have also the different part of the lines that will control and also eject any bad product or any product that won't be confirmed to the track and trace regulation. And we have the printer that could be, at the beginning of the line or also within the line somewhere for the printing the case label or the shipper or the pallet label. And you could have some scanner, NL or fixed scanner, that will control in each way what's going to be packed if somehow you have to have aggregation as well. So that's at the level side. Oh yeah, by the way, some will say that it's level 1, some will say that it's level 2A. So that's just a matter of talking the same language at that part, but I mean that's the way that people will refer to. Then you have all the line controllers that will be involved to control all the different elements on the line. And you have the plant server that will then provide some information to the line controller. You will have an ERP system, okay, that will be involved to to work with the plant server and also the warehouse management system. And you will have the corporate serialization server, so at the level 4, to provide the serial number and also the EPCIS to get the EPCIS repertory. That could be then transferred to the government level, which is level 5. That will be referred as level 5. So let's have a look on the different communication between each level. So of course there will be exchange between the corporate serialization server with the government one, and the line controller will also exchange a lot of information with the different devices on the line. Then the ERP system, of course, will provide some information to the plant server, like a PO, okay, production order. The corporate server will also could push some of the serial number within the plant server, or the plant server could also request some serial number from the corporate serialization server. And then, of course, when the production will have been completed, then the plant server or the line controller will get back the information to the plant server, which will again communicate with the corporate server for the EPCIS registry reports and the ERP system and the warehouse management system to make sure that everything is as having the same information. In some cases, there is some manufacturers that will also be able, directly from the line controller, to communicate with the ERP system in the warehouse management system or the corporate serialization server without having a plant server involved, okay? That's a different architecture, but that is also possible. So as I said before, the ERP system will provide to the plant server a PO, and then the plant server could request some serial number from the corporate server, or it could also, the serialization server, can push some of the serial number into the plant server. At that point, we will always recommend that the plant server would be able to have a cache, because if there is some problem within the connectivity between the corporate server and the plant server, then you're not stuck. You can still produce, okay, at the plant level. So very important to take that in consideration. Then the plant server will also push on the different lines the serial number, or again, the line controller could request the plant server to provide him with serial number. Again, same recommendation, to make sure that there's no downtime on the network side. If you have a cache on the line controller, then you make yourself independent from the plant server in case there's something going on, going bad with the network within the same plant. Then when the production will have been completed, of course, the plant server will then have all the information coming back to it. And then the EPCIS repertory could be then exported to the corporate server. At that point, I mean, you've seen that we were talking about different level of the different level. So one thing that we need to take in consideration at that point is, that there will be, there's a lot of acquisition right now going on into the pharmaceutical industry. So yes, I'm talking about Optel today, but tomorrow, with those CMOs could be equipped with a different vendor at different levels. So the interoperability, it's quite important at that point. So the system plus the data plus all the number of connectors that will have to be developed, it could become a nightmare very quickly, okay, to exchange all the information between all the levels. So this is where the Open Serialization Communication Standard come in play. How can you ensure that all those levels will communicate properly? There's no standard right now. So Optel, with different vendors also and different members of the industry, has started this new Open-SCS activities where we will have a standard how to communicate between the different levels. So GS1 is addressing properly everything that needs to be addressed in terms of the regulation on the serial number, how many digits, et cetera, et cetera. But how can we exchange, for example, the serial number requests? How does it managed right now? How can we transfer all the information to the different level about the APCIS report? There's nothing that exists today. So this Open-SCS is really complementary to the GS1 standard. So let's have a look. So the current situation, as I said, GS1 is controlling all the distribution, manufacturer to distributor and distributor to the wholesale. That is part of the standard. But inside the manufacturer, the complete solution is very complex. So packaging line, intelligent device, how do you communicate with them? As I said before, with all the acquisition that is going on within the different pharmaceutical industry today, and also having the CMOs involved, so there's probably different level that has received different equipment. But then you have from, let's say, a corporate server to communicate with all those different levels. So it could become very expensive to develop all different kind of connectors to connect to those different suppliers. So again, there's no standard today. So there's a lot of customization happening, which is very expensive. So the voice of customer that we have received and why we have generated or started these activities on the Open-SCS is because there were no or a lack of standardization in terms of track and trace communication. The availability of high-cost custom plant interfaces, so meaning that you have to develop customized connector depending on the different level that you have. Most of the people doesn't want to have, a unique vendor or being, locked in by one vendor. And of course, there is different architectural landscape due to the high number of merge acquisition, like I said, usage of CMOs, and the current plant integration standard cover most of but not all the needs. So it was very, at that point, very important for us to try to develop this new specification and guidelines on how to communicate with the different level. And the benefit from all the pharmaceutical companies is to be able to increase the agility that you have within the integration of different suppliers, integration of different CMOs that could have different systems as well, and the integration solution platform in case of merge or acquisition. Of course, you're going to save time and money because then those connectors could be based on the same standard, meaning that they will use the same platform to be developed. So there would be interoperability between those those levels. Okay? So the different member of the Open-SCS, in blue, you will see that those people are some of pharmaceutical companies. And in dark black, you will see that there is also different vendors that are involved. Okay, I won't name them, but as you can see, there's a lot of people involved into these committees. And it's not too late. I mean, if you want to participate, there's always room for new members. So as we have discussed before, so get the PO info from the ERP system at the level 3 or level 4. Then get the serial number from level 4, so data into the system, sending this information to the data to be printed, and then having all the information inspected within the line, on the line, and then bringing back all this information within the data out, so to the different level, management level at level 4 and also level 5. This is key there, and this is where the Open-SCS organization can help within the industry to standardize those communication.
So Thierry again, we are going now to handle questions from your side, and I'm going to see what kind of questions you've sent us, and we are going to answer.
Thank you, Mario. We are going now to move to the Q&A session. We have received 2 questions during the session. So the first one is, what if printing quality is not good enough? And the second one is, what if printer does not receive the right code or twice the same? So I'm going to answer the first one about the printing quality, and I will let Mario to answer the second one. So if we are speaking about printing quality, most of the time, I would say 90% of the time, we are speaking about thermal-legend printer. And in this case, you've got two actions you can produce on the printer. The first one is to clean the cartridge, and the second one is to change the cartridge. And as I explained during the session, there is a tool on the Optel portfolio called grading tool, which could help you during the production to see the trend of the quality, so you can react before the quality is going very, very bad. So you can alert your operators, and they can stop the production, just clean the cartridge or change the cartridge, and run again the batch before the quality is coming very, very bad and not acceptable and below the grade C we are speaking about. So this is for my part. Mario, would you like to take the lead?
Yeah, thank you, Thierry. So the second question is, what if the printer doesn't receive the right code or twice the same code? So I'll split it in 2. The first one is does not receive the right code. In that aspect, the line controller will receive the information from the line that there is something wrong with the code, and the product will be ejected. Okay, so that one is very easy. That one is very easy. The second one, if we have received twice the same code, then it means that there is a duplicate, and there's two ways that the system could handle it. Okay, so this is fully configurable for the Optel Vison part. So the first way would be to eject the second product. So sorry, that was duplicate, because again the line controller will receive that there is a duplicate, so it's going to eject the second product and will keep active the first product. The second way to handle that would be that the line controller again receives a duplicate, but then it's going to eject the second product, which has the same serial number as the first one, and it will automatically decommission or destroy the serial number of the first product. At that part there, the packaging line or the product itself will not be able to be packaged into the case. Okay. Thierry, that's all on my side.
Okay, thank you, Mario. So now it's time to thank you for attending this webinar. Just as a conclusion, I would like to just remind you a few things about the very first step to manage before going to a complete serialization project. The first one is, one more time, to make sure that your printer is serialization ready. And the second one is to measure the adequation between your cartons provider and the printing technology. So we can provide you this service. So please do not hesitate to contact your Videojet sales engineer.
Okay.
Mario, you would like to add something?
Yes. We have received a couple of questions. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, what we will do, we will take each question and answer them back. Okay, so make sure that you have registered under the appropriate emails, so we can return the answer to all of you about your questions. Will be a pleasure to do that. Thierry and I will do that very shortly. Okay. On my side, thank you very much for being there, and again. Talk to you soon. If you have any other questions, you have my contact info and Thierry's contact info. So please do not hesitate to contact us. It will be a pleasure to support you. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thank you, Mario. Have a good day. Bye.